At the heart of this violent, bloody case is a love story. A very unusual love story.
This was Agatha Christie come to life.
It's not something I've given a great deal of thought to about where to dump bodies. But if I was driving from Moffat up to Edinburgh, I can't think of any other spot.
The Ruxton case is different.
Any investigation before the Ruxton case was ancient history because it changed the way that we investigate serious crime.
The public has been lining up for courtroom seats since before dawn. Latecomers are offering wads of cash for a position at the front of the line. An army of press from around the world are on hand to document every dark and dramatic moment.
Beyond Recognition is a new limited series coming to the Small Town Dicks podcast feed on July 19th.
Don't miss it.
I wanted to tell you about our podcast, Drew Blood's Dark Tales, hosted by me, Drew Blood. We're a weekly storytelling podcast where you'll hear hand-picked horror from our favorite authors, accompanied by full audio production and performed by yours truly. I invite you to search for Drew Blood's Dark Tales on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever else you do your listening. And subscribe for longer episodes each and every week.
Congratulations. You've reached the Amelia Project. A new life awaits. If you're not serious about this, hang up. If you continue, there's no way back. Leave your message after the beep.
Enter the offices of the Amelia Project and be ready for surprises, twists and turns. Follow the Amelia team as they help their clients fake their deaths and come back with new identities. Each episode is different. Each client coming to the death-faking agency has a unique story to tell. If death and disappearances, comedy and crime, mystery and magic sounds like your cup of cocoa, The Amelia Project is the podcast for you. Search for The Amelia Project wherever you find your podcasts. And remember, leave your message after the beep.
Hey, I'm Brooke. My friends and I perform spooky stories on our podcast 13. 13 is a movie for your ears with immersive sound design and music from our composer. And we're not reading you the same old ghost stories from Reddit. With original stories from our in-house writers and submissions from up-and-coming authors, 13 will make you smile, break your heart, and have you wishing for a nightlight. Atmospheric, slow burn, always spooky, and sometimes sexy. Our friends are some of the best voice actors and writers in our little corner of the podcast industry. So if you want to find out why those figures in black keep meeting by the water just before dawn, why you should never sleep in a room with an empty chair, or why you hear faint music echoing from the abandoned mall, join us by following 13 wherever you're listening right now. That's 13, the word, not the number, all spelled out. Bridget Howard keeps asking for my teeth. Wherever you get your podcasts.
And as such, she is not under arrest, and this interview is not being conducted under police caution. Do you understand? Hello?
Hello?
Hello? Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
Perfect, sorry. Did you hear my spiel?
Yes, I did. All clear. No caution.
Great.
Yep.
I'm always shocked these lines work at all, you know? You all the way across the other side of the world in an icebox.
Yeah, well, the technology gets better and better every time. But and suddenly, boom, just stops working. You can only rely on people, that's what I say.
I couldn't agree more. Okay, look, for the recording, the time is 0108 GMT, 26th of June 2023. My name is DCI Tessa McAllister. Please do call me Tessa. Could you say your name, please? I've got records of that.
Yeah, no, I understand how all this investigation stuff works.
Yeah, great. Well, you can help me out then.
No, it's okay. I'll allow you to lead.
Thanks. So, can we just start with your name?
Yes, Anders Sørensen.
And how would you prefer me to call you?
Everyone says Anders, so, that's fine.
Great. Can I ask, is there anyone else in the room with you there, Anders?
I hope not. No.
It's just for the recording. Thanks for clarifying. Listen, you'll understand being so far away from you all. I'm relying on everyone's accounts here to try and piece together what happened to Drew.
Yeah, understood.
So to start, can I just ask, how are you holding up?
Yeah, I'm okay. Happy to talk to you, to hear what you're thinking.
Great. We'll just crack on, right?
Yeah.
Anders, could you describe to me what you were doing the evening Drew died?
Yeah, well, on that evening it was the midwinter party.
What time did you arrive to the party?
Yeah, it must have been about six-ish, maybe a little bit before. I mean, the food started at 6 and it was a buffet, so I wanted to get in there straight away.
Okay, could you just talk me through the evening then?
Yeah, we had dinner. There was wine and beer, some music, and I mean that was it really. There was a group of us sitting in the canteen, drinking more or less the whole evening.
Who was part of that group?
It was Greg, Jack, Christoph, and myself. And we have become this kind of unofficial drinking club even before this. So with the midwinter party, well, we sang a lot.
More than usual, you'd say, would you?
Maybe, yeah.
And you were just drinking, what was it, wine and beer, anything else?
Yeah. No, that's it, I think.
Okay.
A few shots here and there,
Describe to me what you were doing other than the drinking.
Well, we were just talking, joking around, as we normally do, telling stories, all that.
The whole evening? But you didn't go anywhere else, no?
Well, I mean, with all that drinking, I probably went, to the toilet to relieve myself.
Do you remember what time that was?
No fucking clue. And it must have been, more than once.
Right. And what about the people that were sat with you?
What about them?
Did they go off anywhere at any point?
Again, maybe only to go to the bathroom, probably. I mean, if you're asking because of our alibis, Matteo told me where they found Drew. That's a good hour and more here and back, I mean, in those conditions, definitely. Nobody was gone for anywhere near that. A few minutes here and there. I was really only aware of the whole issue when they brought the body back. There was this commotion, and Christoph went to see what was going on. He came back. He was looking like he'd seen a ghost. That was kind of the end of the drinking. The end of the night.
Okay. So I just want to confirm I've got this correct. So after dinner, you stayed in the canteen drinking with your buddies, and that would be Greg, Jack, Christoph.
Yeah, that's right.
Right. Now, the only time you say you left the group was to go to the bathroom, maybe more than once.
Yeah.
And none of your group left, apart from going to the bathroom themselves. You stayed drinking, telling stories. And the next thing you remember was Johan and Matteo returning with Drew's body. Is that all correct?
Yeah, that's correct.
Great. Did anyone come in at any point while you were all drinking?
Only Maria.
Okay, can you tell me about that?
Yeah, sure. She came in. She was looking for Drew, and then she left.
And did that seem odd at all?
No, I mean people come into rooms looking for people all the time. Look, if I were you, I'd be concentrating on the people that weren't obviously around.
Oh, okay, like whom do you mean?
Like some people were in the bedrooms, apparently on their own, no alibis.
At this stage, I'm just talking with everybody. I'm making sure I get a full picture, right?
Yep, yeah, okay, good.
Anders, were you aware of an argument happening earlier in the night?
Yeah, well, it was more like a disagreement, I think.
You didn't think it got heated?
Not as far as I recall, no. I mean, it wasn't screaming or anything.
Okay. Can you describe what it was then?
Well, I wasn't paying too much attention to it.
Whatever you noticed, whatever wee detail you saw from your point of view, it helps build a picture for myself.
Sure. Well, it was, people started talking about the secret recordings, and, that threw Felipe into a rage.
A rage?
I mean, not that it takes much to wind him up.
Right. Yeah, carry on. Talk to me a bit more about that.
Well, he's just one of those people that get very easily wound up about everything. Everyone is against him. He thinks the whole world is corrupt. But anyway, he's sort of kicked off about being secretly recorded. That is the argument you're talking about, or what?
Was it just Felipe kicking off about that, or were there others?
Oh no, there was. I mean, the mood on the base has been kind of charged, since Mark, really.
Right.
But I think maybe even before then, people have been on edge. And when Felipe started on Drew, everyone joined in. It opened a can of worms, as you say, I mean, it's not so much worms, but frustrations.
Yeah, tell me more.
Well, everyone just felt annoyed at the recordings. Victor was very vocal too. And okay, I remember that Jack made a comment to Maria about Drew and Sienna, saying that there was something going on between them. And then, that blew up.
Blew up? But, how so?
Well, Maria confronted Drew about it.
Yeah, please do. Tell me a bit more about that.
Oh, it's not. I mean, it was just Jack was just making a joke. I mean, aimed at Drew, but it looked like it hit a nerve with Maria. She was definitely, talking to him a lot afterwards. I mean, Drew. As I said, it was just a little flippant comment from Jack. But it hit a nerve somewhere.
Mm-hmm. Anything else to say about that moment in the night? Anything at all?
Honestly, it was a bit awkward. I mean, Sienna was there, and she was having to listen to all of this. And the thing you need to understand is that people's worlds become very small here. It's hard to get that across to people who haven't experienced, what winter over is really like. That you're just there, all on top of each other, and everyone knows everyone else's dirty laundry. You're side by side all the time, and what happens on the base becomes this, the big news. And I think sometimes for people, the outside world just disappears, fades away, and everything inside becomes so big, so magnified. That's actually the reason why I bring a lot of podcasts and books and puzzles with me, because I try not to get involved in all the gossip, all these issues that people are having with each other. Right. But what I will say is that witnessing Maria and Drew's relationship breaking down like that, it was nice. Relationships are hard, and nobody needs to have them to play out under scrutiny. Drew was getting really pissed that everyone was at him that night. I remember that.
Can you elaborate on what you mean by everyone? Who was that?
It was Victor, Felipe, Jack, And then Maria starts getting upset, because of the Sienna thing. And I think that's why Drew sort of fucked off and went for a walk somewhere.
And was Sienna upset?
Yeah, I think so, but, maybe playing a little bit more cool.
Mm-hmm. So you said Drew fucked off for a walk somewhere. Do you remember what time that was that he went for his walk?
I mean, I don't really know. Maybe around 9ish, I would say. But look, I'm not sure, and I don't know if it was to go for a walk. He just left.
Did he tell anyone where it was he was going?
Not as far as I know. Yeah, not to us anyway.
And then what did you guys do after he left?
Well, we carried on drinking.
Right. Okay. Thanks for that, Anders. That was really helpful. Yep. Can I just ask, do you call yourself a big drinker, Anders?
I mean, that's all relative, isn't it? I'm a Dane, okay, and we drink a lot of beer. But for me, it's a social thing. It's an after-work thing. I don't wake up and the first thing I think is I need a drink, if that's what you're asking.
Listen, Anders, zero judgment here.
Thanks. I mean, what you probably need to know as well is I had a recent injury, so actually I had to cut back on drinking after work here.
That was your right shoulder, is that correct?
Yeah.
Can I just ask, are you left or right-handed?
Right. After the injury, I was on pretty strong medication. That doesn't mix well with alcohol, but my back was starting to feel better. Almost come off the meds, so yeah, I was enjoying a much-needed blowout,
Yeah, I get it. Mm-hmm. This is extremely helpful. Thank you.
Oh, good, yeah.
I'd just like to ask about the GPS in the coats, if I may.
Okay.
Did you know that there were trackers in the coats?
Look, I couldn't even tell you what GPS stands for. I mean, I'm not a tech guy. Fiona just tells us that they've sent some new coats. Mm-hmm. And me, I don't need a new coat.
Right.
I have an old one. It fits me like a glove, It's perfectly warm and all that. I've got pockets where I need them, so I never wore their coat. Listen, I was actually going to bring it back to my son as a present. Mm-hmm. And then they tell me that there's tracking in it. I mean, I don't even have a mobile phone. I never needed one. If people need to find me, they can call my landline. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. I mean, maybe I'm the only one who has a landline these days, but they can do it. And if I'm not answering, then I'm probably running or swimming, and I don't want to speak to anyone anyway. I mean, I don't need people calling me all the time to know where I am. It is becoming a joke.
Yeah, I hear you.
Yeah.
Oh, for the era of the landline.
Yeah. But in 10 years' time, everyone will throw away their mobile phones and their laptops. They'll go back to a life free from technology. Because, I mean, if you think about it, humans will start to forget how to engage their brains. And look at how overweight all these children are becoming. And not just the children, adults too. They sit there staring on their phones like morons. I mean, yeah, I have a computer to work at. I even signed up to Facebook to keep in touch with people from other missions, but I never go on it. Yeah, I find it boring. And there's all this stuff, pictures of food that I don't need, and it's shocking how much advertising you have on these things. I think people have stopped noticing it, and they just feed you with all these things that. Sorry, what was the question?
Anders, I don't even remember.
Look, when you rewind this tape, you'll hear me ranting about technology.
I hate to break this to you, but it's not actually a tape. It's digital.
Well, there you see. But, hey, one day it might go back to being a tape.
Look, I think we're a dying breed, Anders. We'll just have to accept it. Okay, listen, just moving on. Can we talk about the situation regarding Luca? Can you help me understand your reasoning for not making a formal complaint about Luca?
Luca? Well, I mean, that's just it. I didn't make a formal complaint.
Yeah, but you did go to Johan to talk to him about Luca's voyeurism. I mean, was there a reason you didn't want to escalate that to a complaint?
Look, to be perfectly honest, I couldn't be 100% sure.
Sorry, but that it was Luca.
No, I mean, I couldn't be completely sure why he was lurking about. You know, I like to take long showers, and we have timings set for hot water use, and it's against the rules to have a long shower. But, you know, I set that rule. Without me, there wouldn't even be any hot water, so fuck it, you know. I have my hands down the toilets when they get blocked, and I deal with everyone's shit. So I'll take as long a fucking shower as I like, okay?
That's not a chargeable offence, or not in my book anyway.
Right. Anyways, Luca was always hovering about the shop, being just a little bit weird. It didn't bother me necessarily, but I did think it was some strange behavior. So I mentioned it to Johan, and you know, just so he could have it on record. And the next thing you know, Matteo and Johan are going all HR about it. So I got a little worried. You know, worried that maybe Luca was just trying to tell me to hurry the fuck up, and that I got it wrong. So I just didn't want to blackmark this guy's career.
No, I totally understand that. You just say he was acting a little bit weird. Weird how?
Well, I mean, when we have showers, okay, it's not that normal for the other guy to be standing, you know, in eye line, right. You know, in just the same room. You know, you sit outside, you know, where you change, where you have with the lockers and stuff. But he was always sort of in the doorway. Mm-hmm. So yeah, that was just a little bit weird, I thought. Yeah.
And go on.
And well, this is the thing that, you know, then Victor ended up telling me that Luca was doing the same thing to him.
Right.
So, hey, Luca's a bit of a pervert, it turns out. What? Sorry, are you asking? Is it because you are concerned about Luca?
At this point, anything might be relevant. That's all.
Or it could cloud your actual investigation.
I just want people to be reassured that they can be honest with me. No, I'm not interested in petty crimes per se. That's not why I'm here.
Well, you see, petty crimes often lead to bigger crimes.
Yeah, that's sometimes true, but it's not always.
Have you seen Don't Fuck with Cats?
No, I don't think I have, no.
No? It's good. I can recommend it.
Okay. Finally, Anders, can we talk a bit about Mark Rennick?
Sure. Of course.
How are you feeling about the situation with Mark?
Well, I mean, I feel for the guy. No one wants to be locked up. But then again, I understand why they did what they did.
And you've seen winter over syndrome before, have you?
Yeah. It's not pretty, but this was extreme. I mean, poor guy.
Would you say this is the worst case you've seen?
Yeah.
Can you tell me, what was your relationship like with Mark? Anders, can you answer that question?
Yeah, sorry. I was just thinking the best way to answer it. I mean, we got on fine. I like the guy. But as I said earlier, when I injured myself, Mark had to take on a lot of my work. And I know he was angry about that. No, that's wrong. He was upset that maybe he was being overworked. But I mean, that's what it's like here. The doctor said I had to rest, so I had to. Mm-hmm. But I must confess, I was worried that maybe this extra work might have led to what happened to him.
How so?
I don't know. I mean, I hope it didn't. Maybe I'm just overthinking. I do that a lot.
Okay. Okay. Listen. Thanks, Anders. Like I said, this chat's been extremely helpful.
Not bad. Oh, is that it? Is that all?
Yeah, for now. Like I said, this it's just for me to get an understanding of the evening from every angle at this stage. Mm-hmm. I'm sure if we need to speak some more, we can schedule a time to do that. And of course, if anything new comes to light, or if you've forgotten something, please do reach out. Johan can put us in touch. That's not a problem.
Yeah, great. Yeah, of course. This has been good for me too. You see, I I have a lot of theories about what happened.
You mean about what happened to Drew?
Yeah. I'm a little bit obsessed about this sort of thing. Look, you must know Cold Blood.
Cold Blood? No, I don't.
Nordic true crime podcast. Really? You don't know it? I mean, it's very famous in Denmark.
I don't know it at all.
Well, I listened to all of it in the first weeks here.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And now you've got some theories. Well, listen, Anders, I'd love to know what they are.
No, I better keep them to myself. You know, it's.
No. A good detective knows a theory needs to be investigated in order to be proven.
Yeah, but I also know that if it doesn't turn out to be true, then I've wasted all of your time.
Yeah, but you have to follow every lead, Anders. You must know that. You were right about Luca. Maybe you've got a detective's instinct.
Maybe, but I don't know.
Okay. Listen, in all seriousness, it would be good to have any or all the information that you do want to share. So please do get in touch, yeah?
Yeah, sure. I'll think about it. Yeah.
Like I said, we can set up another call anytime.
Yeah, I mean, that'd be good. This has been interesting. But in the meantime, you should really listen to Cold Blood. And I hate to say it, but what happened to Drew here, it would actually make a good podcast.
Listen, Anders, I love true crime as much as the next person, but you know what? It does feel a bit like a busman's holiday.
A busman's?
It's my job. I find it hard to relax too. I actually really don't like mysteries.
Ah, okay, understood. Interesting phrase that. You learn something new every day. Yeah?
Mm-hmm. Well, thanks again. Cold Blood.
Yeah.
I'll look it up.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I'm going to terminate the interview now, so...
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay, thanks, Anders.
Yeah, thank you.
For the recording, interview ending at 01:30 GMT.
Get all the files now. Sign up at coldtapes.com and go ad-free.